If it's not true, we need to know now, and we need to stop the progression of this whole thing from getting worse, because it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
And only on 7 News, this police interview with a Fort Collins woman. She was later convicted for making phony rape accusations, and the man she accused was arrested and put in jail 1 year ago today. Well, tonight, he is speaking to 7 News reporter Lindsay Watts about why he is still struggling to pick up the pieces.
It's definitely a reminder of what I've been through.
Accused of rape, cuffed at the police station the day before Thanksgiving.
I can ask you some questions regarding the crime of sexual assault.
Watching it back 1 year later, Dustin Toth says his life still feels out of control.
Okay.
His accuser, Catherine Bennett, a coworker he'd started dating.
And right now, the statements that I've been given do not match evidence.
This is exclusive video of her police interview. As Toth sat in jail, her story fell apart.
It's fine. I'll drop charges. I'm not telling you to drop charges. I want to know the facts about what happened.
Bennett later convicted of making it all up. She was sentenced to 35 days in jail, then an ankle monitor and probation.
I don't feel that's justice.
Toth says he's the one who's been punished. The Army National Guardsman lost his civilian job and was out of work for nearly 6 months after the arrest.
I've been behind on my car payment ever since.
He has his friends, but the emotional pain is still there.
I feel like I'm incapable to actually trust a woman again.
He says it's telling his story that's helping him heal.
Giving me the opportunity to share it gives me the opportunity to clear my name, because I still feel like my name is not cleared.
Lindsay Watts, 7 News.
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me, because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis and say, I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring anyone. Give me all the men.
There's a female hiring freeze as corporations ignore women in 2024. Men are more work efficient. You don't see them going around crying about sexual harassment, and they don't go on maternity leaves. Why wouldn't corporations pick men over women? It's common sense. On the premise of Me Too, as with all things, the law of unintended consequences takes effect. Now, more than ever, I hear stories of men declining to train or mentor women in the workplace for fear it could lead to a harassment accusation. A lot of attractive women, if I may, are being passed over for career opportunities because male hiring managers can see it as not worth the risk. It's troubling because sexual assault is serious and needs the level of awareness that it has. However, as a man, I think of the times that maybe I gave a congratulatory hug to a co-worker, or when disciplining an insubordinate female. Perhaps I put off perceived aggressive body language that could turn into an accusation of some sort decades from now. Me Too made many male hiring managers and their male co-workers more suspicious of their female co-workers. It became practice that no female co-worker can have a private conversation with men, no closed-door meetings, certainly no mentoring of any kind, if that should ever come up again. There could be no water machine conversation with them, no bullshitting in the hall, absolutely no humor of any kind. Work had become a cold and desolate place. Further, men tended to stick together to spot one another, just in case there is something to be witnessed for later refutation when a false accusation is made. Happened to a friend of mine. Fortunately, though, he's out of that job now, and in a place where he doesn't have to interact as much with anyone. All of his interactions are public. He still doesn't kid or socialize much beyond what is necessary to get his job done, and he gives no opportunity for misinterpretation. He still maintains the rule of no females alone with him. If they happen to be with him, the door remains open, or a third party is required to be present. He does not, and will not go out of his way to help if it would place him in a position where a misunderstanding could occur. Lots of men are following suit, and who can blame them? Nobody wants to have their life ruined out of pettiness or a misunderstanding if one can avoid it by simply avoiding the source of the problem altogether. Am I going to sexually harass that woman? Nope. But let's say that woman in the future decides that she wants to get back at me for whatever reason. All she has to do is merely accuse me, just an accusation, nothing more, and my career is over with. Let's say down the road it showed that she made it all up. Doesn't matter, my career is over with. What am I going to do then? Sue her? Can't get blood from a turnip. There are no checks and balances for this Me Too movement. I understand the initial reason for Me Too, and it was a good reason. To call out men of influence abusing their power to have their way with women. If it stopped there, then it would have been all good. But no, women had to take it to the next level, and then the next, and then the next. Now Me Too is being used to fuck men over because of a bad date. Think Aziz Ansari. Women are using Me Too because of tasteless jokes in the workplace, because a man stared at their breasts a little too long. All these are distasteful, but to lose your career over a tasteless joke, a bad date, or an unwanted stare at breasts? Come on. Bottom line is this. Women created this monster. Women made their bed. Now they have to live with it by facing the unintended consequences of men not wanting to be near them. Period. See, there has always been a lot of honey trapping, but the moment the Me Too movement and Believe Her movements were found to be the same thing, guys responded predictably. Simply put, most men avoided, and are still avoiding contact with women in the workplace, and even outside the workplace. Now some here may think, oh, that's awesome, peace and quiet. Thing is, it's all men, from upper management to janitorial staff, and even waiters and male nurses and firefighters. See, this avoidance culture is practically an existential threat for women. This is me being hypothetical. Firefighters. It is their job to put out fires, not pull people out of fires. Now, if they are avoiding women, this means women in burning buildings don't get rescued, and focus is instead placed on putting out the fire. They get severe burns at best, or burn completely. Female firefighters are also excluded from units, which essentially means if they're in a fire trying to save women, that's 2 funerals. Understand that the work of a firefighter is exactly that. Fire, not people. Going by the paper, there's a growing culture among men of avoiding contact with women in the workplace. This culture means a lot of crucial services may no longer be afforded to women, and men, being the efficient creatures they are, may not change this. Mentorships are dwindling. Opportunity meetings are now exclusive to men, with good reason. Me Too not only bolstered the boys' clubs, but also made it utterly impossible to reason your way in. In my company years back, I had an employee efficiency analysis that found male employees to be far better workers than female employees. This means that I had to make a choice, either make the workplace risky for the employees making returns, or remove female employees from the company. As I work based on returns, the choice was simple. I no longer employ women, and more immediately, did not renew contracts for the ones I had. Not really a tough decision as we moved to working online, making it crucial to know that employees will deliver work. So you see, this movement taught us employers some hard lessons and created a work culture that's detrimental for women. But as long as things get done, I and most employers don't really care who gets spaced. Business is based on cold equations and not emotions. If men are good workers and women, political correctness notwithstanding, are making it hard to build a team, then they go. If it's the other way round, then men go. Only thing that matters is that things get done. Anyway, that's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.